Born Without Tear Ducts. That might have been somebody laughing. Because we're all trapped inside.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Plus Time, a live stream comedy show to get us all through this. I'm your host, Jameson Rogers, and as always, I'm here to remind you that even though things suck right now, there's at least a possibility that they won't always suck. They say a comedy is just tragedy plus time. We're in the midst of a whole bunch of tragedies all the time, always. But if we keep moving forward and keep using whatever extra time we have to create things, we can all look back on this one day and laugh. I'll get it right one of these days. Getting us started off right is my co-host of 90 episodes and my brother of 30 years, Drew Rogers, everybody. What's up?
Hey, dude.
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Got a haircut today.
You look like a person.
Thank you.
Less sadness.
Yeah. Your direct quote to me when you saw me was, "You look like a human being and like you give a shit," which I appreciate. Because some days that's not true, but at least I look like it, which is cool. You know,
half the battle.
I am like looking at it though. It's strange. It was funny. His new barber, obviously, because they had to fly one in from out of state. Because they don't do that here, you know, as previously established. And like, I always like
none of them.
They don't have a single one.
No barber.
Not a one. And so this guy, he was like asking me questions, and like, you ever have somebody ask you like all the questions, like somebody is just like like they're expecting you to have these specific answers, and none of them are that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, a guy was like, how old are you, Jameson? I was like, oh, I'm 33. And he goes, yeah, we're in the same timeline, he said, which like, I think he meant age group, but he said timeline. And I was like, yeah, we're in the same timeline. Like, I'm not in a different timeline or whatever.
Going through the same stream of time.
We're going through the same stream of time right now. Then he was like, you're probably a big hardcore kid, huh? And I was like, no, no, not at all. I was not that at all. I was kind of like a classic rock kid growing up, and you know, and then past few years, like my taste broadened a little bit, but no, I'd never really been that. And then he was like, you know, cutting my hair for a bit, and it would just be like these like 5 to 7 minute stretches where there's just no words happening because I haven't had a haircut in so long that I was just kind of like this the whole time. And
like a little kid that goes to get like their first haircut.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like waiting for the lollipop because I saw a jar of them when I came in, and then we gave me one. But then he was like, "So you watching The Last of Us like the rest of the world right now?" And I was like, "No, I'm still waiting to play the game because I have the PS3 game at my house, and I keep telling myself that I can't watch this show until I've played the game because I want it to unfold, you know, in front of me or whatever." And those are just the 2 examples I can remember, but I think there were like 4 different times that he said something and my answer was like, no, not that. You know? We were brought to you, of course, as always, by Ginger's Bunkhouse Spicy Ginger Ale. The ginger ale, so spicy, you want to make a new slogan every week.
Asterisk, we are not currently sponsored by them, but
no, not currently being
that
paid.
would be cool. Thank you,
please validate us, Ginger's Bunkhouse. But I feel like I'm being paid every time I take a sip of one of these bad boys. I'll tell you that. It's like my tongue has been paid. Anyway, so we haven't done an episode for a couple weeks, I think. Right? Anything new with you? I filled you in on my whole haircut situation.
I'm working on a script off and on for it's like either a cartoon or a comic, one of the two.
Mhm.
It's for an alcoholic wizard. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep your eyes and ears tuned for that because it's gonna be pretty good. And
good. I
also,
hope so.
we're gonna shove Justin Roiland out of like people's memories, and we're just gonna come in just being nice to people, being not creepy, and making cool shit. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take credit for all the work you do. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna do voices in it and stuff.
That's fine.
good.
You get to help write. If that became a real thing, you would
Mhm.
definitely be a writer on it. So would
Goddamn right.
maybe some of you timies,
Same. Yeah. Why not?
wine, dine me, really, really show
How you gonna
show me
finish
what
that?
you can do.
Oh my god, Drew. You trying to get us canceled before we even get this opportunity?
No, I just want somebody to feed me Outback Steakhouse, Jameson. That was the plan. The whole plan for this show.
That does sound good actually right now. I don't think I've had Outback Steakhouse since like 2005 probably.
Probably the same for me.
Yeah. We probably went together 17, 18 years ago. And then we were like, I'm never coming back here. And then we said down under every 10 minutes for the next week. All right.
And that's why we never went back.
Yeah.
Because our parents were just like, no, never again.
We can't deal with that anymore. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. How about let's not instead?
How about let's not?
So, okay, this is something funny that happened to me. I ordered a hat, like drunkenly, like literally a year ago. I think, like, let me look at the order date here. Order date. Right, it doesn't have it on here, but it was definitely like early February of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered this hat, and like these hats are supposed to take forever to be there anyway. And like they even like sent me a bumper sticker that's like, these hats take forever. Like they're happy about it. Anyway, but they're like these huge like pre-order things. So I like ordered one. So I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited a year. And I guess I didn't measure my head right. Or I just didn't know how to do that, or maybe I just like guessed like this is probably the size of my head. But then like I tried to put it on and it doesn't even stay on my head at all. Excuse me. It's way too big, and I looked up the size chart and I measured my head again yesterday, or maybe for the first time. There's really no telling. And and it was like, well, the hat I should have ordered was a medium. The hat I ordered is an extra large.
Go put it on. Go get it. You look like AJ from The Sopranos.
I got an Andre the Giant hat, and it's a super cool hat.
Can you put it on over top of your?
Oh, that's the key. Oh, I don't have to give it up. It's just like on the. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine.
The headphones. That's perfect. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, I bought this hat. It's a really cool hat. I don't want to like totally like get rid of it or whatever. Like it's not gonna fit on my head. And I was like trying to decide, like, could I just wear a hat underneath it or whatever? And like, no, you can't do that. And I thought, who do I know who has a big ass head?
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, like, my best friend and friend of the show, Paul Thompson, has a lot of hair on his head.
He does have a lot of hair on his head.
Yeah. So I messaged him last night. I was like, hey, weird question. You got a lot of hair right now? And do you want this hat that I ordered? He was like, no. And I sent him the picture of it, and I sent him like a video of me trying to wear it. And he was like, that's hilarious. But no, I do not want that hat. So if anybody out there, any Timies have like big ass heads, got this cool hat for you. And I'll just like give it to you. I'll just mail it to you. It's really cool. It's from the Clink Room. They make really cool stuff. They've got a lot of really nifty designs and shit. And like it's like I see why it took a year. Like it's really like detailed and very cool. But yeah, so like if you're Andre the Giant or Dwayne the Rock Johnson or Giada De Laurentiis, and you just got a big ass head and nothing to put atop it, I'm your guy. I got you.
Don't
right
worry,
here.
you can atop here.
you can get atop by your hairhead with this hat. Once again, Ginger's spicy bunkhouse ginger. I feel like I gotta say it every time I take a sip to justify it. All right. Well, so that's that. That's that hat that does not fit on my head. Oh, this is just a thing that like I keep getting notifications about. I don't know why, but did you hear that like AMC Theaters is now like there's like they're changing their pricing based on the location that you sit.
Mhm.
And that's like kind of weirdly elitist for a movie theater thing.
It is
like-
weird, yeah.
Like on the one hand, it's just like okay, discounting the seats in the very front. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Those kind of suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though me and Paul went to see Into the Spider-Verse in the very front, and it like I mean it was like weird, but that movie's so good that I like barely know.
So good.
But like if you want like prime seating, like in the middle of everything, you have to pay like $2 over like regular ticket prices, and I'm like, that's just weird, right?
It is.
Anyway, I didn't have that written down to talk about, but I got another notification about it, and that weirds me out. I don't like it.
It
Okay.
is strange.
Talked haircut, talked big hat, poker face. I just okay. So this is the part where we talk about all the detective shows that I'm into right now.
In our segment that we like to call Unnamed.
Currently unnamed detective project. I'm gonna make a bump for that. That'll be really funny. Currently unnamed detective project. So yeah, I like went on a Psych kick a couple months ago, and I love Psych. You know, start to finish. That one's just like a very good time.
So much.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, what was I was listening to a podcast about screenwriting. It was the writers panel, and they were talking about one of the people who had worked on Moonlighting, and they were kind of talking about Moonlighting, and I knew of it. Like our parents had the pilot on VHS because that's like a full ass movie, and so like I kind of knew about it. I knew Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd or whatever, but I didn't know much. But like then they were talking about it, and it's like, oh yeah, it was like this like super like meta detective series. It's like about it's a detective series where like the main characters kind of know they're in a detective series and they're kind of having fun with it. It's like, okay, that sounds fun. And like I saw a bunch of clips, and it's just like all this like weird meta stuff where they're like talking about the making of the show and how it's kind of a disaster and how episodes are late all the time, but they're also just like making it seem like it works in the context of the story. And I'm like, that sounds like ahead of its time. That sounds really fun.
It does, yeah.
So like I watched a little bit of it on YouTube, and you know how like it wasn't streaming anywhere, and you know how that works. If you watch like a whole series on YouTube, it's either like it's just like the corner of the screen. It's like if the whole thing was just like this part of my screen, and it just showed this, and every once in a while you see a knee and you hear Bruce Willis be like, "Oh, that was my knee," and then you're like, "Oh, now I feel like I'm part of the action or whatever."
Now I know what the knee's all about.
Yeah,
I didn't
so I
even
watched
know
like
its function until today. It hurt Bruce Willis.
So I watched like the first 3 episodes like that, and I was like, this is kind of getting annoying. And so I found there's another YouTube channel, and like that's the other option that like if you're not like super zoomed in, you can show the whole screen, but then everybody sounds like this. So it's like, hello, my name is David Anderson.
Or you get the ones that are like this.
Yeah.
And I like watching really intense scenes like that.
Yeah.
Like I watched the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight where somebody had like ripped it so the audio was turned up.
That's hilarious. That's
Like,
I feel like that enhances
you're garbage that kills for money. It was like just like an angry, low, like More.
Yeah, like what's the Joker say? He's like, ask the question. Just like ask the questions before you hit the guy. It's all woozy.
Yeah.
It sounds like Roger Rabbit or something.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Why would
again,
I want to kill you?
just Mickey Mouse. Okay, so I watched the Moonlighting. I ended up buying the DVD, and I've like seen the first 4 episodes or so now, 4 or 5, and I'm digging it. It's fun. I'm curious to watch more of it. But then Poker Face started a couple weeks ago on Peacock, and I was already like pretty pumped about that. Love Ryan Johnson. I know some people feel like they didn't like his Star Wars movie, but I think those people are wrong. Because that movie is dope as shit.
I liked
think we've
it,
talked about it.
and I liked
Yeah.
that it was. Yeah, we've talked about it before, but I like that the rebels have to lose in order to win.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Empire, you know? It's just like, oh
It's just
shit,
like
this is so down.
there are no good circumstances. There's no good way out of it.
Yeah, that movie ends and you're like, shit, what happens next? And this time, what happened is J.J. Abrams was like, I don't know, bring Palpatine
Like,
back, I guess.
And they start that so quickly in the next one. Like,
oh my god.
So, guys,
it's like
Palpatine's-
everything you just saw is
he's back, you guys.
he's
Everything
back.
he had, all of his equipment's
Nothing
back.
matters.
Nothing matters. Ray's just kind of
geez.
there.
Just invalidating everything. Oh, and also
not
Ray
Ray,
is a
Rose.
Palpatine for some reason
Rose
too.
is just
Yeah.
kinda-
Oh, Rose barely
kinda-
has lines in that movie. Whole thing. Anyway,
I
love
that
Ryan
character.
Johnson. Yeah, me too. Rose Tico is. I fell in love with Rose Tico in that movie. Sorry, Anna. I mean, you're good. I love you as well. But anyway, so I love Ryan Johnson. Love every movie he's done. Brothers Bloom made me cry. Looper is solid as hell. Good use of Bruce Willis. And I love the Knives Out and Glass Onion. It was very cool. And so I was very much looking forward to his collaboration with Natasha Lyonne because she is also great and does great things. And anyway, so I started watching it. Love it. I love kind of just like the way they format it, where it's just like, here we will show you how a murder happens, and then the kind of subsequent cover up of said murder, and then we're gonna add in this character who's been there the whole time, and then we'll kind of just break it down. I'm not spoiling anything for you. Drew's only seen the first episode, and if you haven't seen it yet, watch it. I'm not gonna give you any hard spoilers or anything.
I've enjoyed it. Psych is probably still my favorite detective show.
Psych, yeah, oh for sure. Psych is great. But it's just like I guess I'm just kind of realizing I've always wanted to do that kind of thing. And I guess I knew that on some level, but just like now I'm putting all these together. Like I just read another Fletch book, and he's not a detective, he's a reporter, but he solves mysteries. You know what I mean? It's like he's kind of a detective.
Yeah.
I loved the Fletch movie, the new one with John Hamm. But anyway, so I was like listening to interviews with both Ryan Johnson and Natasha Lyonne. Cameron says Veronica Mars. Yes, Veronica Mars is another really good one. I could rewatch that again. And that's like kind of, I mean, they do kind of week to week things, but then there's just like the whole overarching, like the big time. Cam says that Cyclops movie that should happen. Oh yes, yeah! I would love a Cyclops.
So we've talked about this several times, back and forth. Our brother collective, that if there were a Cyclops like Scott Summers X-Men Cyclops series or movie, that he should be like detecting or like solving a crime. I love that idea. Well,
yeah, I think that would be really cool.
All three of Rogers's brothers is like that idea. So get on
maybe
the wagon.
It should be a brother story. We gotta throw a fucking Havoc in there. And there's a third brother, right?
Yeah. He's had a couple different names. Quasar is the last one I think he went by.
Quasar,
I don't know. Some nerd fact check me.
Yeah. So yeah, Quasar, Havoc. and Cyclops, that would be pretty sweet.
And their little brother is like he was born on an alien ship and put into this incubator, doesn't know his family, and all of this crazy shit.
That is crazy. Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. There's so much cool stuff that is like still like people are like, oh, they've run out of ideas over at Marvel. It's like, are you fucking serious? Do you realize
that is
like how much isn't even in the mix
of
yet?
Ideas.
He is Psycho. Talking about Quasar, I assume.
I imagine, yeah. Dude is messed up. I mean, so many of the X-Men characters honestly are
so messed up,
and there are lots that are their powers are useless. There's can't remember his name all of a sudden. There is a character who can self-destruct, but he would only be capable of doing it once.
Yeah. See that? I forget what that guy's name is. I like that though.
I think it's just like the exploding boy or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway, so I was listening to interviews with like Natasha Lyonne and Ryan Johnson, and they were just talking about the show and like what it is. It's like, oh, it's Columbo, but with Natasha Lyonne as like a human lie detector. And it's like, all right, and I've never really watched Columbo, and surprise, it's also on Peacock. So I was like, I'll give that a shot. And I started watching Columbo, and I'm like I finished the third episode of Columbo. The first one directed by Steven Spielberg, by the way. Definitely worth watch cool. That one. Yeah. And it's all so fun. And it is very much the same show in many regards, And it's I don't know. I could go on and on about like what newer shows don't really do as well and like as that. But
it's time to move on to James Gunn's DC world and the imploding that some of the neckbeards around the nerd community are having.
Oh my god, I saw a post earlier that was like from a collective called like the Knights of Snyder or something. I was like, you fucking dorks need to just cool your jets.
I saw a petition that was like, we're petitioning for Warner Brothers to remove James Gunn as their DC spokesperson and to immediately instate Zack Snyder.
First of all, I don't even think that dude would take that job, even if they tried to give it to him. Even if any of that was going to work out. And also, he's not just like the spokesperson for DC. He is the head of DC Studios at this point. You cannot remove him. You know? Anyway, people are losing their minds about it, but they made a bunch of announcements last week about like their slate of new things. I keep saying they, but it's like him that said it. And then there's Peter Safran, who's his co-CEO, who's like a producer guy.
Yeah.
Not so much a face or whatever, but like he was also there. Highlights. Let's see. One, we got Superman Legacy is supposed to be like the big thing that kind of resets. And it's like, go ahead.
And there's a big debate about that one because people are deciding, should he have trunks or no? It's actually James Gunn asked people on Twitter, should Superman have his trunks or not?
And of course, people are melting down about it because that's what people do.
But
I'm pro trunks.
It's overwhelmingly yes on trunks. Last I checked. So good. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne's live action.
Yeah. Gonna get Batman, the Brave and the Bold, with a story about Batman meeting his long lost didn't know he had him son Damian Wayne, which is pretty exciting because to me that implies that we're like other Robins have to be built into that script, right?
And I have heard them talk about how they're trying to put the entire legacy that he's had of characters that he's been with
that is so
on
smart.
display.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, oh yeah, he's already got himself a Nightwing and a Batgirl, and
just right off the
and
bat, it's
that.
like it's so nice to see somebody who understands these characters and like what makes them appealing actually like have any type of say in how this goes.
Which is why there's a Booster Gold show coming.
Exactly. That's what's so exciting. So, like, first of all, people are really sticking with this Flash movie, which is kind of weird because of like all of the trouble that Ezra Miller has caused. But people are like, no, this movie is legit. Even in that talk when he was revealing the whole slate and everything, he said like it is the greatest superhero movie ever made. That's what he said. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a pretty high bar.
Dope.
But so that's supposed to like reset the timeline. And then they're going to have a Booster Gold show that like starts shortly after that, where I think the goal there is to just like go back to every like DC property, every adaptation that they've had, and really just kind of like handpick things to put into some kind of canon. Because like, as we've said many times on this show, DC has done multiverse stuff better in the comics for a long time. Like, I mean, I love what Marvel's doing. I think they're doing a really good job with it. And I think Quantumania is going to like, I think Quantumania might blow my mind. Like,
Kang is one of my favorite villains.
Same.
I love
Kang.
Books. So I was like, as soon as He Who Remains was finally like, oh yeah, that's Kang. Oh crap. Just everything
like, shit is
about to fall apart.
Yeah, and people are still like, there's not been like a Thanos level villain yet. It's like, you have no idea what you're in for this damn movie.
Yeah, and he's trapped in the quantum realm.
And he's gonna be really scary. Like I'm expecting to be scared by him, which is good.
Because so that character itself just doesn't give a shit about anything else.
Not at all.
It's gonna be mildly horrifying to see something that like nihilistic.
Yeah. Even with He Who Remains, there's just this kind of like, there's this one track kind of philosophy that every Kang variant follows to some degree. And like with He Who Remains, it's like, look, man, this is just like the only way that this isn't going to be fucked up. You know? Yeah. And like, I mean, Kang. But back to DC, Booster Gold. If you don't know anything about him, he's like a janitor and kind of a fuck up who steals. Like, he works at a museum and he steals like this time machine so he can go back in time to pretend to be a superhero, and that would be like the protagonist of the show. And then they could just kind of cherry pick things that they wanted to leave into canon, which I'm excited about. I think that sounds really fun.
Agreed.
Lanterns is the one that I'm the most excited about. I think.
Speaking of detective shows, I mean, it's just going to be like a buddy cop in space TV show. I am all about that.
Yeah, James Gunn described it as like True Detective, but with Green Lanterns. I'm like, that sounds fun. I haven't even watched True Detective, but I know people love it, and it's about mysteries. It's like, okay, yes, do that. Because for the longest time, they had a Green Lantern show in development under Berlanti that was just like, how about we have Alan Scott and Guy Gardner, the most fun Green Lanterns? And I'm like, Jesus, please don't do that. I don't really give a shit about those characters.
They tease their Diggle character, like John Diggle, as
for like the in the Arrowverse to become a Green Lantern
ever, and then they were like, he's Guardian.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, but you set him up so well, and I think that actor wouldn't have done a terrible job either. But
yeah, I mean, I personally just I couldn't get into any of the Berlanti stuff. I just feel like his writing is just kind of lacking. But like, I mean, for what it was, like, absolutely, it's cool that people enjoyed it for what it was. But like, I feel like there's people who have a deeper understanding of like storytelling and character that are involved now. If you just listen to some of the names that are involved, like the Doom Patrol showrunner Jeremy Carver is co-running Waller, which is coming out, and that's like, I guess it's gonna pick up kind of where Peacemaker left off. Like, they're kind of doing that instead of Peacemaker season 2, and they're kind of broadening it and putting Viola Davis at the center of it. So I expect to see like a bunch of weird shit. I'm very much looking forward to that. That's gonna be good. The thing that really had me excited regarding Superman 2 is like just the way he described like his take on this character. He's like, here's the thing. He's like, first of all, he's like, no, we know Henry Cavill is not. He's like, it's not like he was fired. He just was not cast in this movie. Mm-hmm. That's like not what's happening. But he described it like he had an understanding of that character way more than Zack Snyder ever tried to. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, well, he's it's called Legacy. It's about him kind of just like making peace with like both sides of himself, the Kryptonian and the Kansas kid, and just kind of like the way he described it was like he's like the sorry, the ghost of my cat just woke up. I won't explain that. I gotta find the direct quote real quick because it was just like it was perfect.
I'm drawing the Daily Planet.
Very cool. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. All right, talk amongst yourself as I find this quote. Because I was like ramping up to it, and then I realized I did not have the words.
So I don't remember if that is actually on an axis. I hope that the Daily Planet is, just for reference. I think that the Superman Legacy movie is going to be kind of based on a book called All-Star Superman.
He said tonally.
Yeah. Just like I think that is a really like beautiful tone to a Superman book. It's not anyway like moody. They didn't try to, change how the ocean moves. They just like, it's big, it's bright, it's colorful. It does the thing. It does the book thing.
Here's the quote I was looking for. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. Superman represents truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old-fashioned. I think that's just like a really good description of Superman and just like the appeal of that character in general. And I'm very excited to see how that pans out. Let's see what else. We got Waller, we got Booster Gold, we got Lanterns, we got Batman, we got Superman. We have the Themyscira prequel series about like what's it called? Paradise Lost. About Themyscira, like in the olden times. Assuming we'll see like a young Diana or something. That's pretty exciting.
Or see her get made out of clay.
Yeah. Right.
Because comic books.
Is that not how babies are made?
See, this is why public schools need funding. Look at that face. Look at that face. That face doesn't know how reproduction works. I don't know anything.
No idea. Okay, they're doing an Authority movie, which I am not the authority on the Authority. I've read one Authority comic where they crossed over with Lobo, and it was like they got a hold of a Lobo Christmas comic. That was the whole thing. It was complicated, and I don't know much about them, but it's like they kind of just have a different approach to things where it's just it's like don't do bad stuff or I'll power you.
It's I haven't. I don't know that much about that one either. So
yeah, but I'm excited.
I will have to do research or just wait.
Because that's a Wildstorm property that was like kind of absorbed into DC, but now it's kind of being threaded through regular continuity, and I think that's going to be a really interesting thing. Creature Commandos, I also don't know anything about, but that looks awesome as shit. Just a bunch of weird ass characters.
Art for that,
yeah, the art for that looks awesome. Yeah, so a bunch of weird ass characters that were created to fight Nazis and stuff, and it's like, this sounds great. So very, very much looking forward to that. And also, he said that the intention with the animated stuff going forward within like the DCU main timeline is that like if you like voice a character in a thing, then you're probably going to play them in live action too.
That's cool.
Isn't that badass?
That's pretty cool.
It makes me feel good because I look like a cartoon, so maybe I could try to get just like maybe that would be better. Like I make my money by voice acting anyway, and I look like a cartoon character, so I feel like that's just like perfectly setting me up. So anyway, in the comments, Tommies, please tell me which DC character I should play as both animated and live action. Is that all of the projects? I feel like I'm missing one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Authority. Oh, Supergirl. There's a yes, and I found a cool quote about that too. The way they describe this one.
I'm happy we're gonna see that on a big screen because that character is cool and that origin is super cool.
I wonder if it's going to be the same Supergirl that we're getting in this Flash movie.
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, Superman was sent to Earth, and he was raised by incredibly loving parents, whereas Kara was in Krypton. She was a piece of Krypton that drifted away from the planet and lived there for the first 14 years of her life among horrible situations where she watched everybody around her die. And so she's a much harsher and more fucked up Supergirl than we've seen thus far.
Oh, so that's lovely.
Based on a more recent run that I believe is the same title, which I'm sure I can find somewhere, but
I think I know the art for it that you're for the book.
Yeah. Woman of Tomorrow, based on Tom King's comics run last year. So yeah, looking forward to that, and I think that's everything. But a lot to look forward to. I'm very much excited about that. I'm very much excited about where Marvel goes from here. Just it's a good time to be a nerd, and yeah, good time to be a nerd, and it's a good time to shake off the fucking things that bad nerds say.
For real.
Yeah. Just like people are so open. I just can't get over it. It's just so funny to me how bent out of shape people are about. Like, I just don't understand how anyone thinks Zack Snyder is a genius. But I'm gonna leave it right there. You know.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of his work it feels like a giant movie trailer. I think that's what you've said before. That like the entire thing just is like a giant movie trailer. Like, oh, this is a cool shot, and this is a cool shot.
Right, exactly. Like he understands like imagery, and it's all just like leading up to like this image, and it's like, cool, that's a very nice shot. Awesome. Now give it some substance.
Absolutely.
Give Batman less lethal guns. You know what I mean?
It's that was weird.
Dude has a rule.
Oh yeah, he's fine with that now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That the thing that really like sets his character apart, where it's just like there's this one thing that he's not willing to do, no matter how evil somebody is. Yeah, we're just not gonna do that.
Just not gonna worry about it.
Doesn't matter.
Just gonna kind of let it happen. Push it way down.
Yeah, and you know how Superman is just like inherently good, and he will do anything he can to stop like people from dying. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna he's gonna do that too, and that's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he could have saved his dad from a tornado. It's not like some redneck yokel.
I see that.
Would have just, I saw that man hop into a tornado.
In fact, like any Smallville or Lois and Clark situation like that, where like somebody saw Clark doing some shit, they would just be like, "I'll never tell." You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know, man. But like, he doesn't know. He's off creating some sort of, now he's got like, apparently he's got like this thing he's been trying to do for a while that's like his version of Star Wars that they're letting him do at Netflix now. It's like very tonally, it looks very Star Wars to the point where it's like people are confusing it, and then I'm like, it's like Rogue Moon or some shit. It's like, all right, whatever.
I hope it works. Just because it's like, if it's a original property, then some of like the slow-mo and some of like just like the grand shots that are always in the trailer. Like, you always see the good shot in the trailer, and then you're like, oh, the rest of everything is just kind of blocked out. This is cool. I don't remember where I was going with that.
About just how Snyder has an original thing that he's working on, and how it's like, all right, cool, you do that, man.
I hope that goes well. Just
I watched his zombie movie, and it took me like several tries to get through it. I was
what is that?
It's called Army of the Dead. It's another Netflix thing. It's like Dave Bautista and
I watched that, and I thought it was like it's like a fun heist movie.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the concept is cool. It's just like, it's like we're robbing a casino, but it's zombie times, and there's like a zombie tiger and shit. And it was like, all right, this sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
but it was
just like, let's just block off all of Vegas. That'll help. We'll just build
keep
walls.
It all in here.
Don't worry about the zombies.
But anyway, I don't care about Zack Snyder. I don't care about him.
I think I hope that he's doing well, because I care just in general for people.
Yeah, I care about human beings, and I hope that human beings are generally having an okay time and not hurting each other.
Yeah.
That's our official position here at Plus Time. We hope you're not hurting each other out there.
We really do.
Does.
Also that. We appreciate it.
You ready to play a game?
Let's do it.
All right. This is a game, of course, that we like to call of course, this is a game called Who Am I? And that is not the button I meant to push, but that is the guy from last episode, so it's fine. So the way this works, you Timies out there, if you don't know, is Drew draws characters. Drew is a drawist, and he drawed a bunch of this stuff around. And so like he drew like this guy from before, and he drew like this guy, and he drew this guy right here, all those things behind him, and drew this guy. I didn't draw a Lobot, I don't think, but you could.
I don't think so.
Sure. I think you did on one of the tapestries too, but like you didn't make Lobot. Drew this guy, and that's enough examples. Drew draws stuff all the time, and so like the way this works is we're gonna show you, the viewer, or us, or anybody, another character that Draw has drewed, and we're going to ask questions about it and try to flesh them out. So here's our guy this time, and he's kind of more central to the screen than we usually let him. I think that's just kind of a character trait of his. He's kind of just a little more in the center, not so far to one side, I think. So let's go ahead and ask some questions. First up, what is this character's name? I don't know.
It is a good question.
I know one.
I feel like I can't answer anymore because it's just like, all right, I made the thing, and
now it's you. Now you do it.
Now it's your turn.
First of all, love the dude's sweater, and that reminds me that I got a sweater right here to put on. It's not because it's cold here, but it's just because I like this sweater. So I'm going to do that. And I also like his orange shoes because that's the same vibe that I'm putting off.
Nice.
So this guy feels like my spirit animal. Okay, so what do we got here? All right. He is named Vincent. Vincent. Yeah. He does look like a Vincent a little bit. I'd call him Vinny a little bit, but I feel like he would get upset about it. He'd be like, "Hello, my name is Vincent." I'd be like, "Nice to meet you, Vinny." And he'd be like,
"My
name
Vincent. Is Vincent."
Yeah. Vincent Cheddar Curb. I like that.
Of the famous ones?
Cheddar Curbs?
Famous Cheddar Curbs?
The famous Cheddar Curbs. Vincent Cheddar Curb. A legacy. All right, let's see what else. What is Vincent Cheddar Curb's job?
Well, I'll tell you, if he's a part of the well-known Cheddar Curb family, then he doesn't have one. He doesn't have to worry about it.
He's just a rich kid?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work? Yeah.
Yeah. Of the Rhode Island Cheddar Curbs.
Sauce Quality Assurance Specialist. I think he's a rich kid who does that for funsies.
Oh.
He's like, let me try that sauce. My name is Vincent Cheddar Curb. Let me try that sauce. Let me try that sauce. That's his catchphrase. Yeah, see, as a hobby. My name is Vincent Cheddar Curb. Let me try that sauce, he says. Like that? Cool. Where does he live? Live at home with the other Cheddar Curbs? Does he live in the basement of the Cheddar Curb estate? I don't know. You tell me. Hey, I'm Vince Cheddar Curb. Let me try that sauce real quick. You working on a sauce? Let me get in there. Try that sauce. Hey, I'm Vincent. I'm Vincent Cheddar Curb. You may have heard of me. I'm here to test your sauce. You got a bolognese over there?
Let me try that test your sauce. It sounds like a plumber or something.
Let me test that sauce real quick. Hey, let me get a good taste of that sauce. Then he blinks just the middle one. Like, let me try that sauce. Like licks his lips, blinks just the middle one because he doesn't want to take his eyes off the person at all. The tree house at the lake house. So he lives at the lake house. So he's still like kind of far away from the rest of the Cheddar Curbs. You know, he's just like, I don't know. I'm going to stay in my tree house out at the lake house. You know what I mean? Because, I can make some sauces out there. If you have any sauce that you're making out here in the main house, you know where to find me, up in the tree house, up at the lake house. All right? I'm Vincent, and I'm here to test your sauce. Right? Okay.
No, Vincent. My sauce.
No, thank you. What does he eat? Well, I think that's fairly obvious. He eats sauce. Is it his main gig? Does he enjoy it? Does he eat it for sustenance? I don't know.
It's just a gig that he doesn't like that he's doing. It pays the bills. But I just
like it's where he hides his sauce stills. Hey, I'm Vincent. I'm here to test your sauce. I don't get any enjoyment out of it. I tell you that much. I'm just here because I just gotta test the sauce. You understand?
Got to.
You got an Alfredo cooking over there? Let me try that sauce. I made a sauce, by the way, a couple days ago, or yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I made a sauce. I mean, I'm not gonna describe this sauce to you. It's good. It's good.
Good. I want describe
okay.
it to me.
Well, I'll tell you. It was like the end of a sour cream container that we weren't using, so I put like a little bit of mayo in there and some Dijon, just a little bit of Dijon, a hefty amount of cayenne pepper. Actually, I was like, that's what I want. I want a little bit of kick in there, a little bit of kick, some dill. I like dill. Did some dill. just a little bit of Dijon, and then some garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and then I cut up some dill pickles real fine, and put them in there so it's like a sandwich sauce, a little bit of spicy sandwich sauce. It's pretty good. Nice. Hold on a second. My girlfriend's mom is calling me, and I will call her back. Hey, babe, your mom's calling. Sorry, this is Vincent. I'm doing Vincent. Ask her if she got sauce. Sorry, Vincent cheddar curb sauce. All right. What else? He eats the sauce. What is their dream?
Sauce.
What is his dream? Sauce. Hey, I'm Vincent Cheddar Curb. Don't call me Vinny. Unless you got bolognese.
Unless you got sauce. If you got sauce.
If you got a sauce. I'm your boy. I'm your guy. How long you been making that marinara? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. I think that one looks like it could be chunkier. I like a chunky sauce.
But I gotta try it to conform.
I gotta try it anyway. That's the thing. Right. His dream is to win the Ricotta Regatta. I'm trying all these sauces. And the thing is, I'm trying to enter the contest. It's the Ricotta Regatta. And the thing is, I got to taste all the sauces and tell you which ones of them got ricotta in them. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. I got to identify the ones that got the ricotta in them. And then I win the regatta. I win the Ricotta Regatta. I'll tell you what, if I don't win the Ricotta Regatta, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. I'm so sorry. All right, that's his dream.
I liked it. I approve.
Who's their favorite member of the Wu-Tang Clan?
I'm going to guess that Vincent doesn't know who the Wu-Tang Clan is.
Hey, I don't know who the Wu-Tang Clan is. Do they make sauce? Why would I know? I don't know.
I think he would just hear the word clan and assume that it was a part of the Ku Klux Klan and just be like,
hey, I don't want none of that. No, I don't like sauces like that. If you're going to have mayonnaise, it's a sauce. I don't
like sauces like that.
He likens everything to sauce. It's just like, hey, that's not the kind of sauce for me. Am I right? Vincent Curb. I'm Vincent Cheddar Curb. And I like sauce, but not that kind of sauce. You say that, and I like that, but I think deep down he likes Raekwon. He just doesn't know that he's a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. He doesn't know much about Raekwon. He just knows he likes him. Hey, that guy could make a good sauce, I bet. He said.
He just specifically likes him for his sauce. Yeah, I bet he's got a good sauce.
I tell you what, I hear that guy rapping.
I bet he's got a real good sauce.
I bet. He can make a good sauce. Does he sound like? Is this the right voice for him? I think this is the right voice for him. Personally.
I like it.
Yeah, good. Vincent Cheddar Curb. I'm here to try the sauce. Hey, can I try that sauce real quick? Hey, give me a taste of that sauce. All right. Well,
I like it.
Put your hands for Vincent Cheddar Curb. I hope he comes back. Honestly, I feel like he and I very much just kind of were on the same wavelength. See you later, Vincent. I almost called him Vinny, but then I remembered he doesn't like that.
Yeah, that would have been a mistake.
Yeah. I think
I just sent you the Tapasto trophy for.
All right, I am refreshing. It has not yet arrived.
Every time after I've sent something, I'm like, oh, I could draw this. And then it's like, well, why would I do that now? It's too late.
We talked about doing the dangerous.
Show. We talked about doing the show live before, and we were like, "Oh, we'll get a projector so that way people could watch me draw." Thought that was just a pretty cool idea.
I still think it's a pretty cool idea. One of these days,
we'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, one of these days, Tommies, we'll be there. I'll be back in town. I mean,
we had 2 episodes where we were in the same room. Probably more than that. Just a couple more than that. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. A few of them.
Guys, we've been doing this 90 times.
Yeah, this is the 90th time. It's been almost a full 3 years coming up in April. That's crazy. All right, there we go. So we got me and my giant hat. We got Vincent Cheddar-Curry over there looking like he just tried a really good sauce. We got Lobot. We got the Daily Planet. We got the Trunks, yes or no. Hey, weigh in the comments if you have a take on that. Trunks, yes or no. We got this pineapple right here. Because
you said Psych, so I was like, yeah, gotta draw a pineapple.
Famously a pineapple in every episode of Psych. And then we got the Green Lantern symbol there. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. No evil shall escape my sight. Oh, Vincent Cheddar-Curry?
For those who worship evil's
might. Beware my power.
Beware my Green Lantern's light.
Yeah. So
I had a ring at one point in time. I don't know what happened to it. But
is that right? Oh, yeah. I feel like I remember that.
It was like, put it on my hand and just like, I'm a master. I can do anything.
I can do whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, put your hands for sauce taster Vincent Cheddar-Curry. Vincent Cheddar-Curry, also a Green Lantern, I've decided canonically. So yeah, put your hands for that guy. Put your hands for the very talented Drew Rogers over here. Put your hands for me, the moderately talented Jameson Rogers. Put your hands for our producers, Anna Kopakova and Cameron Rogers. Put your hands for yourselves, Timies. And you know how it goes. We'll see you next week. I got to go make some sauces for dinner, actually. There's going to be other things there, but I got to make a tzatziki. And I feel like Vincent might appreciate that.
Production. Production.